This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and that far. We keeping a foot on the whoop on the Knicks. We keeping a foot on the whoop on the Knicks. Let's talk about it. Now, if you guys don't realize that Little Shawn and Kenny Porter were in on this together, it's a things that make you say, It's a things that make you say, You clearly don't know boxing. Little Shawn and Kenny Porter were in on this like nobody's business. This was a rigged fucking fight. This was a fixed fight. How, as a competitor, you, Little Shawn, will sit there and tell yourself that you're glamorizing Spence versus Crawford? A competitor wouldn't do that. A guy who really knew he won the fight. I had that shit 9 rounds to fucking 0. Some people had it 8-1. I'm not mad at that. Shit, I'm not mad if you go as low as 6-3. As long as you have the shit in Shawn Porter's favor. Shawn Porter was beating up Terrence Buck Crawford, the barking fucking chihuahua. He was exposing him. He was hitting him with consistent shots. And Shawn Porter's not even the best boxer. That's why I know Keith Thurman gonna do even more damage. Because Keith Thurman is a better boxer than Shawn Porter ever fucking was. So that's why he has to fight Keith Thurman next. Because that's the next level up. Like Terrence Buck Crawford in barking chihuahua fashion said, Keith Thurman is the next fighter. His fight is bigger than Shawn Porter. And erroneously said that he was the man at 147 and not Errol the True Spence. We know that's not fucking true. We know Errol the True Spence is the rock star, the boogeyman of the welterweight division, but we also know he is actually the man at the welterweight division. So we're not going to veer off on that. Let's get back and let's contextualize it to the topic at hand. Why is Shawn Porter glamorizing? Why is he dick riding Terrence Buck Crawford? Because when it's all said and done, it's all about my buddy and me. My buddy and me. My buddy and me. And number 4, for covering all sides of the angles. My buddy and me. It's all about my buddy and me. We know this to be true. We've already deciphered this. We've already went through this. And we've already G-checked it for what it was. This was a rigged fight. This is why He Knows Everything and famously said that Little Shawn and Kenny Porter gets an Oscar for best father and son dual performance for a fixed fight. Let me say it again. They get an Oscar for best father and son performance for a fixed fight. Ross put it in a visual. Tom Ross TV put that shit in a visual in you guys' minds. But He Knows Everything verbalized it. Because you guys needed to understand what was you were watching. This was a paid-to-lose nosedive affair. He Knows Everything called it. The first motherfucker to call it. Been calling this shit for weeks. Been calling this shit for months. Why is Shawn Porter shamelessly, lacking a backbone, spinelessly propping up Spence versus Crawford? It's because he was paid to fucking lose. It's because it was a nosedive affair. It's because it was a rigged motherfucking fight. Look at him. A groupie. When you get paid, when you compromise, when you don't have a backbone, when you are spineless, when you accept paid to lose nosedive affair terms, as a black fighter, you can never come back from that. Little Shawn and Kenny Porter were in on it. I don't know why boxing community fan bases were too Rudy Poo and Plum Plum Brain to see this. They were too classic Doden and Troglodyte to see this. They were too ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric to see this. Kenny Porter basically almost went off script. But Shawn Porter fell through the script beautifully. The script was supposed to be, he gives Terrence Buck Crawford trouble like nobody else has. But Terrence Buck Crawford comes late into the fight and stops him. That was the original script. Kenny Porter goes and creates his own script. So it gives an illusion as if Kenny Porter is against Shawn Porter. But in actuality, it's the same shit. It's just Kenny Porter went on his own script within the fucking script. See, in a paid to lose and a nosedive affair, things like this can fucking happen. Where people can go by their own agendas within the script. So that's why there was confusion in boxing community fan bases' minds. But there was no confusion that they were in on it together. There wasn't no confusion that this was a rigged shit. There wasn't no confusion that this was a fixed fight because they had to prop up Terrence Crawford and try to give him a false credence. Errol the Truth Spence was the one that retired Shawn Porter. And see, one thing about the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. And those whom the truth set free are free indeed. The truth will always have his day. This is why he knows everything resides in truth-telling fashion. This is why he always comes in cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth-telling fashion. This is why he always tells you the truth of the fact of the matter of things. Because the truth is sharper than a two-edged sword, piercing the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit, even until the joints in the marrow. The truth always operates in that double-edged sword mindset. Because it has to be that way. It has to pierce those who are haters, but it also has to deliver those who are supporters. Let me say it again. It pierces those who are haters, but it delivers those who are supporters. And the haters that it pierces are the ones who believe that Terrence Crawford deserved 50-50. That's why Shawn Porter had to testify. And that's why this fight is 60-40. Graciously, or this shit ain't happening. Let me say it again. It's 60-40 graciously, or it'll never fucking happen. Because Shawn Porter testified and told the truth that he was more hurt in the Errol the Truth Spence fight. That Errol the Truth Spence was the one that beat his guts up. Errol the Truth Spence was the one that blew his fucking back out. Errol the Truth Spence was the one that fucked his ass up in the ring. He was grimacing. Fight Hype, Fight Hub TV, ES News, they had to move the camera away, just like Tom Ross TV eloquently stated. He was grimacing. He was walking gingerly. He wasn't doing that with the Terrence Crawford fight because it was a rigged Paidtolose fight to give Bud this false sense of he's on the same level with Errol the Truth Spence. That's why Spence was shaking his head. Couldn't fucking believe it. But this right here tells you everything you needed to know from a cardinal rule standpoint, because Shawn Porter was sat there on his podcast and is talking about Spence versus Crawford, ironically, a week after the fucking fight has happened. Isn't that the things that make you say, Isn't that the things that make you say, I want you guys to dawn on that. I want you guys to think about that. Rigged, fixed, paid to lose, nosed out for fair fight. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.